Welcome to A&M Reviews. I'm Skyber and here with my buddy Sal. Sal, what's up?
Not much, just hanging out.
Alright, and today is a Throwback Thursday. We are going to be talking about Leon the Professional, which is about Matilda, a 12-year-old girl, is reluctantly taken in by Leon, a professional assassin, after her family is murdered. Leon and Matilda form an unusual relationship as she becomes his protege and learns the assassin's trade. Alright, and Sal, this is my personal fucking favorite fucking movie of all time.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it has to be for some really strong points that you're gonna make. And just saying this, I agree with that. It's a really good movie. Well, let's start it off. Go for it. What are your pros and your grade?
Man,
What's the grade you give it?
I give it a fucking 10 out of 10 because
Okay.
perfect movie for me. Like, I have no qualms whatsoever. Like A plus on every fucking front of this film. Like, nothing is wrong with this movie to me.
Okay. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, even though I don't have no cons to say about the movie. Maybe a little bit of a post-production release issues that I have. And it's not with the director or anything. It might just be a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, let's start it off. You start describing your pros and your best scenes that you liked.
I love every scene, Sal. Like this was one of like the first few movies that I thought was just like completely perfect. And like there's only a few movies where I'm like that's perfect. Don't do anything else. Leave it alone. And like
No, yeah. When I started watching it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick at acting. But guess what? Natalie Portman, even though she was really young,
yeah.
she does a magnificent job.
And like this was Natalie Portman's first movie, and she was
It was
like 11 when she started.
Yeah, not 94, right? Yeah, 94.
Yeah, and like goddamn, like child actors usually suck, but no, not with Natalie Portman. Just like no, it went for gold.
No, the movie was released 94, so this was actually like probably recorded 93 or so. I mean, damn, 11 years old with that kind of caliber. No wonder she went to Star Wars right after this.
Yeah, and like even though like Gary Oldman kind of gives like a little over the top performance, it like fits fucking perfect with his character and just this movie, and just like even that is just like yeah, it's great.
It was to the point. It was over the top, but just enough that he brought it back and just like wow, Mason. There's another podcast out there that they do similar things like we do, and then there's a thing they call it exquisite acting, which they say somebody's going to be over the top, but it's such over the top that it brings it back together. And basically, this is kind of the same thing. I mean, he was there, and it was perfect for his character, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was amazing. Gary Oldman, there's no role that he can't play.
Oh yeah, Gary, like great actor. Like just any role he can fucking do.
Yes. Well, and Leon too, even though he doesn't talk much.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, I mean, it's amazing.
And just
it's
just like there was such great character development, Sal. Like this, like it was like the structure just works so well with this movie. Like
it's the same thing as like you're trying to find a perfect balance between two characters. Okay, you got an old guy, you got a young girl. It's perfect chemistry. It's just dead on. Their facial expressions, their attitude, the way they walk, they talk, they carry themselves, it just fits so perfectly. Especially the scene when Matilda says, I'm going to play a game with you.
Oh yeah.
And they do the dress up, and he's coming out as John Wayne, and he's like trying to like the pose and everything. It's a hitman playing dress up with a little girl.
Yeah,
it's just
awesome.
It's such a funny scene. No, man, I mean, this movie has a lot of scenes that, like, okay, especially when he's starting to teach her how to shoot, and they're on the roof. Okay, I don't know if we said this, but there was going to be spoilers, okay? They're on the roof, and then she's, like, aiming for people in the park. He's like, okay, rule. No women and kids, right? And he's like, yep. So she points at her target and everything, and I'm like, oh, my God, she's going to shoot that guy. She's going to shoot fucking paintball. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like... I was like, it was so tense for me. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna kill someone. And she does it so naturally, like, yeah, that's him. Like, got him.
I know, just like effortlessly cool. And like, man, also like on that rooftop scene, just like that also just adds to like you could pick like any shot. And to me, like, you could just hang that on your wall. Like, it just looks
Yes.
great.
Especially when because we pitched this from the last recommendation, the last Throwback Thursday, when I was looking up, posters. There's so many posters out there, especially now when people are drawing their own posters and creating their own art. There's tribute art out for this movie. My God, there was so many that I saw that I wanted to use, but then I'm like, oh, the issue is like, if I use it and this person comes to us and says you're using my art without my permission, but there's so much art out there for like the posters and stuff. If you want any desktop picture and you don't know what to get, look up wallpapers for Leon.
And like,
amazing.
I'm so happy. Like, there's like, I know that my fan base is out there, but Sal, I want more people to fucking watch this movie. Not enough people know about it.
Exactly, that's the whole thing, and that leads me into the just because people talk that it has some pedophilia theme to it, just because of that, or I've heard stories where it was tested in the U.S. with people, and they just said, that's not gonna go good, that theme, which is not totally, it's not there at all.
Yeah,
but people just go over the top by her suggesting that she's in love with Leon. And they jump to conclusions. You never see him touch her. You never see him give her a kiss. You never see any of that. But people just jump to the conclusion. People want to see things that are not there. And with that, I mean, that's probably why.
and then also that just adds to like, it's like people like, this is a complicated relationship that they have, and this is a complicated character that we have as well. There's fucking layers to this. It's not just black and white.
No, and then I have 3 points that I want to point out. First of all, Leon did not seduce her, did not sleep with her. And that plays so much into it that he did not act upon it. So you can't say it's a pedophilia theme to it because he never acted upon it. If there is no action from him towards her, you can't say there's a theme to it. Next point is Matilda. She's confused. She's a little girl and her family died. She sees this guy, a stranger who saved her life. She's alone. She needs kindness from somebody. And guess who opens his arms, or the door basically? Leon. He took her in. Okay, now she's feeling grateful and she confuses it for love. And then when she says, I love you, she thinks love is something else and she wants to prove it to him and stuff, which is just an idea a little girl has, especially like nowadays. If you think about it, little girls were into pop groups, boy bands. They see these people and people go crazy over them. Justin Bieber, was it NSYNC and stuff like that. Girls are in love with them. And if you get them in a room with them, they'll go crazy and might even try to kiss them. But do they really know what they're doing? No, because they're little girls. Same thing as Matilda. She's young. She's confused.
Yeah, she's naive,
Third point is that Leon, he talks about he lost his love and how she died. Mm-hmm. It's a childhood love, which I think he said that he was around a little older, 16, 17, around there. But it's the same mentality as Japanese people have. They're so busy with their lives that when they're in middle school and stuff like that, they never have relationships with females, like going out with them and everything. But they do have crushes, but they never act upon it because they're always going to school to learn to get a good job in life. And once they get to adulthood, they reminisce about middle school childhood love or a crush they had. And that's why a lot of Japanese adults have this idea that, that's why they watch younger girls that remind them of their crush and stuff like that. Like they idolize little girls. And it's called lolicon, but at the same time, it's not sexual. It's just an idea that says, I want to relive that emotion I had when I saw my crush when I used to go to school. Just because you have that mentality and idea, you never act upon it, which means you're not really going to be a rapist. You're not going to do something sexual to little kids. And I see Leon doing that. He's an innocent guy who still, deep down, he's a child. Once his girlfriend died, he had to seek revenge, and then he had to skip town, and he became a hitman. And that's how I see it. I mean, and then, I mean, that's my kind of defense for the movie. And the only reason I gave it basically a bad minus 0.5 was because it's not marketed correctly. I blame marketing department for not being able to reach out more targeted audience. Let's go back and talk about other stuff. Okay, Skybear, what's up with Tony? Is he ripping off Leon?
You know, I've thought about it, like, and I'm still on the fence on it. You know, like either he is like keeping his word and he is just stashing Leon's money away, or he's just like telling Leon something and then he just like gives him enough cash to make it by, you know?
I mean, because you got to think about it. He does go back to him after he meets Matilda and says, I can read now.
Mm.
And then Tony looks at him like, oh, like shocked. Either is it shocked because he's like, oh, this guy's getting wise, or he's learning shit. You know, am I going to get caught on? Mm. Or is he just surprised like, oh, good for you kind of thing?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, like, okay, he gives him enough money just to get by. He doesn't have a nice apartment. I mean, give it that he doesn't need a good apartment. Like, you know, he sleeps on the couch. Mm. You know, his way of basically saying I'm sleep.
Nah, dude, he just waits.
I just sit here. It's okay. I sleep with one eye open. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. And then his diet, it's just what milk?
Yeah, dude.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh, is it because Tony doesn't give you enough money? But yeah, I mean, so my point was like, okay, that's another thing. I don't have an answer to it. It's just a little.
But I mean, like, that's what I enjoy. Well, that's one of the things I enjoy about it, where like some things are just, ambiguous.
Yes.
In this film, where it's just like, I don't know, you decide.
And then the other thing was that guy, the guy that's always asleep behind Tony, the old guy. What's his thing? Is he related to Tony, or is he related to Leon or something? Because he's always there.
I think he's just like a customer, but I mean, like, he's been coming there for so long that Tony's just like, don't worry, this guy's chill.
But then he brings him food, and I don't think he ordered the food because he was asleep.
Well, that's why, like, he's just been coming there for so long. It's just like, dude, just give him the food. Just like he always gets food.
or he's a retired hitman, and that could be Leon in the future. Oh. If he keeps working for Tony, he'll be like, I'll take care of you. Even when he's old and he has no more jobs for them, he still takes care of them.
Maybe.
See, I'm vouching for Tony at the same time I'm screwing him over. No, but yeah, I mean, think about that. Maybe he's a legit crooked person. Mm. Okay, next thing. I really wanted to know about Matilda's real mom. Like, she said, like, that's not my mom. She's my stepmom, and that's not my sister. She's my stepsister, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like the only person she cared about was her stepbrother, her little stepbrother, and you know, they killed him. Her mom, I think she died. But which brings me to the other thing: did the dad kill her, or did the mob kill her for another deal gone bad?
That's why, I don't even know. Like, that's why it's just one of those other things where it's like, I don't know. You decide. I mean, there's multiple like ways to look at her situation, which is fucking cool because like this also delves into like this is a complex character.
And at the same time, I don't know if we're just messed up, but I like these kind of movies that have complex characters you can talk about with other people and build your own theories around it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And because here's the thing, like, she asked Leon, what do you do? And he said, I'm a hitman. Oh, cool. No little kid's gonna be like, oh, I'm cool with that shit. Maybe her mom got killed by a hitman. But
that was also like one of the cool things that like solidified the beginning of their relationship with each other, where it's just like, oh, like, you know, that's when he sees like, oh shit, do I have a friend?
Yes. And Leon, who's the guy who just goes from point A to point B and that's it, you know, you're like, oh, I have a person I can talk to.
Yeah.
Like, other than
just
the plant.
There's just too many good moments in this whole movie, Sal.
And some of the scenes, some of the good movies, some of the good scenes in the movies, there's little or no dialogue.
Mm.
And that makes it like the best way to enjoy them. And I just saw a bunch of those scenes in this movie, which is like you said, it's so hard to choose your best scene. I mean, now let's talk about Gary Oldman.
Gary fucking Oldman.
His character. Okay.
Like one of the best fucking antagonists ever, Sal.
No, and then when I was watching the movie, I was watching it, and you know the scene where he's like, okay, the cops are coming, and he's like all calm and everything, and then they're like, okay, let's go, and then he tells the guy, you stay here, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? They're criminals. They're dealing with drugs, and then he's like, what should I tell them? We're doing our job, and I'm like, no, don't tell them that. Then there's this reveal that they're detectives, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I like too. Where it's like, oh fuck, that's why everything's all chill.
Yeah.
Damn.
When he's getting high off the pill, which it's technically supposed to be a reference to cocaine that he's taking through capsules.
Is it though? Because
that's the thing.
Because I think it's just supposed to be like some mystery drug. It's like it does something. Who knows?
That's the thing. It's a mystery drug, but a lot of people just take it like, oh, it's powder, it must be cocaine, which is the default for every person who sees movies. But here's the thing: what's in the pills, and it's making him lose control of himself, lose his mind. Because I want to think that the detective was a really controlling guy before he started taking the capsules, and slowly even his right hand man was like, oh, he's gonna lose control. And I'm like, so before, was he like really controlling and was, you know, calculative moves and everything, and now he's just going beyond and crazy? And on top of that, is him losing control of himself making it look like Leon is more of a professional than he really is? You never see him being without the pill, even when he sees Matilda in the bathroom, he's taking the pill, and then after that he just hears like, oh, there's a guy who came into our building and shot up everyone. Yeah. Is that just his mind creating Leon?
Well, I viewed it more as you know, just, well, it seems to me like whenever he's like getting ready to kill somebody, that's when he takes it. You know, because like he took it before he shot up the apartment. He took it like before he was like doing the showdown with Matilda. So I think that's like more like his ritual, I would say. And he's like, you know, well, he's fucking crazy, so I guess he wants to like have fun while he's fucking murdering people.
And the thing about him going like with the classical music, and you must be a Beethoven guy. I'm more of a this and that. I'm like, whoa. No, he says he's a Beethoven guy and stuff like that. Even though Beethoven's crazy or something, you're like, oh shit, this guy's like fucking crazy.
Exactly. You know? That's why I was like, this is great. I like this.
Oh yeah, and then famous line, everyone.
Well, oh yeah, where he just yelled. Like,
no. You have to. Oh. There you go. Say like he said it.
Oh, yeah, it was just everyone.
No, man, this movie was great.
Dude, and like, man, just like start to finish, it's just like perfect beginning, perfect ending, perfect reveals, perfect showdown. Dude, that fucking shootout at the end was awesome.
Dude, that was so amazing. And actually, well, here's the other thing. I watched it, and it's a Hitman movie, and it's one of the best Hitman movies that I've seen, and I've seen other movies that came afterwards, and they play homage to Leon, and in a way that basically they're always developing their characters with a little aspect of Leon behind it, because Leon has the special, you know, way of doing stuff. He wears a little hat. Why? What's the reason that he wears the beanie, Skybear?
Because he can't afford to catch cold.
There you go. And stuff like that. It's just like perfect, you know? It's like, oh man, it must be so he doesn't, you know, leave evidence. No, he's fucking concerned about his health.
Well, and like, he can't afford to take a sick day, dude.
Yeah. No, yeah, so the movie, it's a Headman theme to it, but at the same time, it's deeper than that. It's developing the relationship between two characters, you know, and I was just from start to finish, like you said, I was captivated.
And like, if you just want like a movie where, you know, it's kick-ass action, but you actually care about the story too, and like with great fucking characters, then like you just watch this movie, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually recommend this one over what was the other one? Just the actual Hitman movie. Because I'm like, for this one, you care about Leon, you care about Matilda, then you're kind of wishing, you know, Gary Oldman's like, don't catch them, don't kill them, don't do this, and you care about the characters. Other Hitman movies are like, oh yeah, they're Hitmans, okay. Oh, he got shot, he got wounded, okay. He'll deal with it. But here's like, any time you think Leon might get shot or stabbed, you're just concerned about him. If he dies, then Matilda's not gonna be taken care of. And wait, Gary Oldman's gonna shoot her in the bathroom. No, and it's basically like you're invested in the movie from start to finish.
Exactly.
You know, especially the scene when she's like coming back from the grocery store when her family's killed. And she's passing by, and then she starts crying, knocking on the door, open the door, open the door. And you see that second of hesitation between Leon saying, if I open the door, I save the little girl. But if I open it, then I take on more responsibility. What am I going to do? Like, from start to finish, it was just a movie that I was invested in. And at the end, when she's talking to the plant, she's talking to the audience, saying, you know, this is where I'm going to be.
Exactly.
And everything's going to work out.
And like, dude, what I'm pissed about is that there wasn't a sequel.
There wasn't, and it was so perfect that it could actually happen. But at the same time, do we really want a sequel to something that's perfect?
Dude, like, if Luc Besson like gets his shit together, and like if Natalie Portman comes back, then hell yeah, it would be like the greatest sequel ever, Sal. But actually, Luc Besson wrote a movie called Colombiana, and I guess like that was supposed to be the sequel to Leon, but like shit got screwed up.
Who's the girl in Colombiana?
Zoe Saldana
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I remember watching it, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, it could be. But at the same time, if you bring Natalie Portman back and you make a sequel to Leon, and you have the little test girl from like Star Wars, after a long time ago, talk about Leon, and like now Natalie Portman is the hitman in the future Star Wars series.
And dude, like watching Natalie Portman kick ass, I am so down.
Yeah, I think she would be able to do it.
And like she said, she's been open to like working with him again, and so it's just like, dude, stop making shitty movies and like do something amazing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this movie's great overall. I mean, like I said, I would have given it a perfect score. Well, actually, that's the other issue.
Oh, the director release by
Luke.
Yeah,
he said that it's the same, but then there's also the extended version, which is the international release.
Right.
So it's really confusing for people out there who are gonna want to watch this movie the way that we did it.
Yeah.
We watched the international release because
Yeah.
once you see the version that is supposed to be theatrical, or theatrical, or the director's cut, it's basically the same.
Mm.
There's less stuff in it, and it's basically a butchered part.
Yeah, like they just take out like huge chunks of character development in that, and then it's just like, why would you do that? You're just ruining the movie.
Yeah, and so I think I linked down below on Amazon. You can actually buy the version we saw. Watch that one. Don't skip the extra scenes. They're actually very worth watching because they developed the characters so well. Even though a lot of people, I guess, they bitched about it and that's why they had to edit it. But there's no reason you need to cut out those scenes. I mean, it's a movie. It's just leave it alone. It's perfect.
Exactly. Perfect film.
Yes. But yeah, the 0.5 was because of that confusion and the marketing, because they had to edit stuff that there shouldn't be editing to it. If they can make him edit this, why not make George Lucas stop fucking mastering his fucking old shit and adding CG to it? Put a stop to that shit, you know?
One day, Sal. One day, like, Criterion will just salvage all the original prints of Star Wars and just fucking redo it.
I am hoping for that. But yeah, with that said, Leon was the perfect movie. Watch it, enjoy it, and talk about it, and then tell your other friends who haven't seen it to go watch it, so more people get into it, and somehow we pressure in to get Luke to write something else and make more movies.
Hell yeah.
That are good.
So that was our Throwback Thursday for Leon the Professional, and catch us next time when we talk about rock and rolla. And social media is in the description. Click and subscribe and hit us up if you have any questions.
And remember, keep watching movies.